horror deconstruction.
What's up, everybody? It's a Hardy Construction. You can find us at hardyconstruction.tumblr.com, youtube.com/hardyconstructions, as well as facebook.com/hardyconstruction. Well, Jesus, the Hardy Construction. Ho, ho, ho. Happy Kwanzaa, everybody. Oy vey. And today's film is...
It is Hanukkah.
Today's film is...
this is, well, wait, we didn't introduce our names.
What? Oh, yeah, this is, Comp, and that's...
Oh, I'm, Tiny Huge Island.
Today's film is...
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Silent Night, Deadly Night, 1984. After his parents are murdered, a young, tormented teenager goes on a murderous rampage dressed as Santa due to his stay at an orphanage where he was abused by the Mother Superior. This movie's blown my mind. That's why I can't talk regularly during this episode.
That's actually not even true, what it just said.
It sort is. Directed by Charles E. Sellier Jr. That's about 3 names too long. It's written by Paul Kamey, and I guess that's the story he did. And then Michael Hickey, I believe, wrote the screenplay. It stars Lillian Chauvin, Gilmer McCormick, and Tony Nero. Tony Nero, that is such an Italian name. Do you think he was the stereotypical Italian guy that was being a dick to Billy?
The one that was trying to rape that woman?
Yes. And then, yeah, we'll get to that. Okay, so Silent Night, Deadly Night is a classic 1984 slasher, which I was very surprised at how much I actually enjoyed it. So, why did we pick this film? Because
I made a mistake.
Yes, it's Christmas time, and Danny, like usually, because he does not believe in Lord Jesus Christ or Christmas, he is a follower of the faith that is not Christian, chose
Moses
to do this.
Is my prophet.
Yeah, that's it. And he did this one. I actually wanted to do Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 because of the infamous Garbage Day scene, but we went with the first one, and you know what? I don't feel too bad about it. So, Silent Night, Deadly Night, how does this movie start out, Danny?
It starts out with, this little kid going to visit his insane grandpa.
Billy, it's this movie's laugh riot. I mean, it's literally like, it's just thinking about the scenes is hilarious already. I mean, it's played seriously. The whole movie's played seriously. Like, there's not like a joke at all in this movie. But
no, but it is funny, though.
It's hilarious. It's something that you'd want to watch at like a midnight movie screening. You know what I mean? So Billy
this would have been great if I was like a little drunk and had some popcorn or something.
So it's Christmas night, or it's approaching Christmas time, and Billy is a little 8-year-old boy, and he has a newborn brother, I assume. Well, not a newborn, maybe like a couple of months old,
no, he's
right?
not even 8 at this point. I think he's even younger.
Is he even younger? I think in the credits it's
he's
listed
5.
as Billy.
He's 5,
five.
According
Okay,
to the Wikipedia.
So Billy's about 5 years old, and I really don't know how children look at what age, honestly. Like once after you're 2 years old, I figure you just turn straight into 14 or something like that. So anyway, this little Billy, he looks sort of like Joey Lawrence or something. You know, like the Lawrence brothers, those kids from Blossom or something. Whoa, that guy. He sort of looks like one of the asshole kids that did like. I swear to God, those Lawrence brothers annoyed the shit. Maybe I'm the only one that got annoyed by Joey Lawrence and his brothers, but they all had like sitcoms for a while.
I honestly am not even quite sure. I know the names.
Joey Lawrence was the brother.
In a terrible movie. He was in a terrible movie called Road Stop or something.
Oof.
That was terrible.
But
that was a horror movie, actually.
Joey Lawrence was this kid who, in the mid-'90s, he kind of was famous because he was on a sitcom called Blossom. I think he's on a show now called Melissa and Joey.
Oh, I've heard of Blossom.
It was him, right? He was the kind of whoa brother, and then he had a middle brother who was on probably one of the best Power Rangers ripoffs called Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. But that show was that show was kind of self-aware. Because it was a ripoff of, I guess, like an Ultraman type show, which was like a Japanese, robots fighting giants.
Yeah, I had the video game of Ultraman.
Right, so Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad was... the only thing I'll give them credit for is that it was like a really cheap show where they fought giant robots inside the computers. And there will be a point to this tangent. And the kid, in one episode, one of the guys says, wow, this is crazy. It's almost like there's an alternate universe where... there's people just like us, but they're Japanese. Obviously a reference to, ripping off another show.
Right.
Very good. And then there was a little brother who looks just like Billy in this film, and all he would do is quote Jim Carrey movies and go smoking. And children think they're really funny when they do an adult thing. And I wanted to reach through my screen and strangle that child. It was very upsetting to me. So anyway, back to the film. Billy is a 5-year-old boy with his parents, a very pretty mother, Very, father looks like Michael Bay, the director of Transformers. It's very strange.
Oh,
I was expecting the father to start pointing at stuff and then huge explosions start coming out.
They would just explode. It would just explode.
Michael Bay is literally in one of the best commercials of all time where it starts out, I don't know what the commercial is for, I don't know what it is for, but he's watching a huge like plasma screen of one of his movies. And it's just like an explosion, and he turns around and he goes, genius. And it's like the greatest commercial I've ever seen. It's
Really?
amazing because he's like tongue-in-cheek, whatever. But anyway, so
That's pretty funny, actually.
the kid is with his parents, and they're driving around, and wow. So anyway, he's with his, what's the big argument about? Santa Claus, right? And what's going on with that?
Yeah, Santa Claus. Well, at this point, Billy isn't horrified of Santa, but... But then he sees his grandpa who's like catatonic, and this is like one of the best scenes in like any movie, actually. The grandpa just like comes to life and just scares the shit out of him, and then goes back to being catatonic.
The grandfather
Like, it's awesome.
literally looks like a robot you would see at a Disney ride because he's just kind of sitting there. And he looks like a random like old man, like not even creepy.
The way he goes back to to catatonic is so creepy, like the way his eyes move.
And
back.
it's all done with bad editing because he's clearly has his hands in the air and his head's looking the other way, and his family walks into the room and he's already back to like the first stance of not moving, like catatonic. And it's like the worst editing. It's just an old man, like a guy you would see, like an old sailor who would tell you tales or something. And he's just sitting in his chair and he's looking forward. And he's at a mental asylum. Let's put that in the fact. So the parents are coming to visit. The guys, I'm like, why are they driving to a mental asylum? I was already laughing. I was like, this is Christmas time. Who the hell would want to expose children to like mentally ill people? So it just, I guess the father's just regressing. I guess not really. He just doesn't want to talk to people. He's kind of a jerk, you know. That's the ultimate.
He's not a jerk. He's awesome. Like I want to be like that guy when I'm older.
You know what? I'm kind of like that right now, so I don't blame him. So this old man sitting in his chair, and Billy comes up to him. Oh, they actually leave Billy with an incapacitated old man, and they go whatever to look at the paperwork of how bad the father is doing. And then the old man's like eyes look to the left like a fucking cyborg or something, and then he starts telling, and he's talking normal. It's not like he's like, ooh, he's not doing that or anything. But what does he tell the little boy Billy?
He tells him that Santa will punish you if you're naughty.
I mean, this movie has performances that are some of the best I've ever seen in any movie. It's just...
There's this one scene where Mother Superior makes Billy sit on Santa's lap. And he punches Santa.
It's amazing.
The way Santa falls. I rewound that scene like 3 times.
It's one of the greatest things. I was laughing so hard. So anyway, Billy is obviously freaked out because the grandfather's like, if you're naughty, he'll get you. And he's like, I can create. Then he just goes back into like cyborg mode. They drive off, and Billy tells the mama, Grandpa said that Santa will destroy you or whatever. And then the mother says, Santa's not real. And the shocked reaction of the little Billy is one of the best I've ever seen in my life. Like, he almost did it like a stereotypical like black woman. She was like, "Oh, Mom!" Like he did it like that. Like literally, it looked like an episode of Moesha or something. It was very unsettling because that child had some sass to his mother. So they're driving down the hallway. Meanwhile, there is an evil Santa, a fucking Santa maniac that is walking around robbing stores with This movie's great. It really is one of the greatest movies of all time. I'm glad we saw this instead. So this Santa kills a shop owner, and he goes out, and his car breaks down, or he just decides he has a pretty neat that was like a red Chevy or some kind of car like that. It fits his suit.
Right. He probably stole it.
It looks kind of like Lloyd Kaufman or some kind of random guy, but he stops the family in the road. He actually, the parents stop the car. Billy's like, no, don't go, because he's obviously freaked out from his grandfather. That they stop at the road. The crazy Santa.
Grandpa was right.
Yeah,
though.
Grandpa wasn't bullshitting. What? How prophetic that old man was. They went to that. See what it is. Listen, this is if anything.
He has so much time to be in his own head that he really, he's in touch with the spirit world or something.
If anything, what this film says is don't visit family members in mental facilities, and you wouldn't have problems anymore. That's it. You're fine.
Right.
Just don't visit anybody that's in trouble. That's it. Just stay home and have Christmas and cocoa, and none of this will
I
happen.
won't even visit a family member who broke their leg and is in the hospital. I won't.
So the Santa Claus proceeds to shoot the father, kills him, then tries to rape the mother and slits her throat. And if there's any worse degradation than that, her breasts are exposed while she's dead, and it's very sad because
There's a lot of boobs.
there's a lot of breasts in this film. It is an '80s film,
and two rape scenes.
Yes, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of raping going on in this movie, and it's Bill Cosby approved. So Billy runs out of the car, hides in the field while this maniac Santa is looking for him, and I guess the maniac just disappears and leaves him alone. You never hear about him again unless it's like Billy's flashback.
I don't understand why the maniac didn't kill the baby though.
Yeah, I don't know, but you know what? This movie is two things. This movie to me feels like a Marvel Origins film because they take care of an origin for the first 20 minutes of the film, and then the rest of it is just action. So you get a nice compact origin at the beginning of the film. This movie is basically the opening of like Spider-Man getting bitten by a radioactive spider, and then he becomes Spider-Man for the rest of the movie. This guy is like, he sees his parents killed by a Santa Claus. He sees people having sex and equates to both of them after being abused by a nun, and he becomes a crazy serial killer. So it's kind of fun. It's like
I feel bad for that one nun, the nice nun.
Yeah, she's
what's her Sister Margaret?
Yeah, she's walking around. She puts two and two together that she believes Mother Superior's treatment of Billy will have a detrimental effect, which is correct because Mother Superior. I mean, but then again,
it isn't her fault. It's the crazy Santa's fault.
That's true. It really is crazy, but she doesn't help. I guess she doesn't.
I mean, she's a bitch. I didn't know that was the real title, Mother Superior.
Oh, really?
I thought that was like. I mean, I thought that was
movies?
like a thing from like Dune, and also like some old school like medieval title for like nuns and shit. I didn't realize like it was still in use.
I guess it's like, what do they have? I guess a father is the same thing, right? Or Archduke Bishop. And I didn't really have to deal with nuns, I guess, because
So that's a Catholic thing, I guess.
I don't know, because I guess it is. I went to a Catholic school, and I didn't remember there were no nuns. There were just priests around. So, well, maybe that's more scarier.
Did they touch you? Is that why you're so messed up?
Well, sometimes you want some attention, and you just got to pay a price for it. So anyway, there is Billy is now about like 12 years old or something like that. Oh no, he's eight years old.
No, he's 8
years old, and we're fast forward to the future, and all the kids are like drawing Christmas images, and he draws what?
What does he draw? Like a decapitated Rudolph?
Yeah,
or something?
and Santa Claus, and Mother Superior just decides that he shouldn't pay attention and confront any of his old problems, and just through strict obedience and being nice, all those problems will go away, because that obviously always works, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. So what does Billy see that kind of wrecks, puts two and two together that sex and violence are equal to his mind?
What is it? It's like a nun having sex with some guy.
I think it's I think it might be one of the older girls that live there, because it's like an orphanage or something like that. So, but the girl looked like 15 or 16 or maybe 18 or something. They look pretty old.
For some reason I got in my head it was like a nun.
I will say, what could be? I mean, I guess, but it does look like. But then the kid, who would the guy be? Like a handyman or something? Anyway, I gotta say this:
Maybe,
this movie, all the men are real sensuous. If they're not sensuous lovers, they're like rapists. So
right, or they're drunks.
That's true, because we have 2 sequences of rape and then 2 sequences of actual like sensual loving, where like a man is like taking time and kissing a woman.
Or they're maniacs. I mean, we got 2 scenes of that too.
That's
we got
true.
the Santa Claus and we got Billy.
There we go. So Billy.
That sums up men.
Billy looks through a keyhole and he sees these 2 people having sex. And Mother Superior walks in and starts beating those people with a belt. So, I don't know. Maybe those people probably got off even more because they just got slapped around and they were BDSM.
Right, they were wanting that to happen. They're into, like, bondage and stuff.
Yeah, and so this affects Billy because this has a flashback to the violence and Mother Superior talking about naughtiness and, wrong stuff like that. So, in his mind, this kind of ingrains Santa Claus will come after you if you're naughty. And this follows him up till he's 18, and you want to get into how Billy's life is now at 18 years old, working at Ira's toy factory.
Yeah, well, Sister Margaret gets him a job, and
this movie's great. Like, it really is great. But go ahead.
he seems well put together. But anyway, somehow it's during Christmas time, and somehow he gets forced into being Santa Claus.
Yeah, he's working for Mr. Sims, and a little trivia: Mr. Sims was a character named Al in one of the greatest movies of all time, Weird Science. If you just watch Weird Science,
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was the father of Gary, who was I think Anthony Michael Hall's character.
The main dorky kid, right? The one that actually makes Lisa.
Yeah, the blonde kid. No, not the brunette kid.
Oh no,
the
that's
kid.
the one that makes Lisa is the one with the dark hair.
Yeah, no, it's Gary and Wyatt. Yeah, Wyatt is the smart one, and Gary is like the kind of goofy friend with the blonde hair. He's Alice.
Wait, isn't Wyatt the brother?
No,
the
that's
mean
Chet.
brother.
I've seen that movie a
Oh,
million.
and you know who he's played by? He's played by the dad in fucking American Horror Story, I believe.
American Horror Story.
Yeah, that evil dad. That's also.
Oh no,
Beecher
that
in
you might
Oz.
be thinking about the sitcom. I'm talking about Chet, who was played by Hicks from Aliens, who is the director of.
Oh, okay.
Frailty.
I am actually much more familiar with the sitcom, but I did see the movie.
Yeah,
a
the
few
movie
times
is a
as
genius
kid.
movie. Anyway, sorry
With
to
the
go off that
motorcycles
tangent,
and all
kids.
that shit.
But Mr.
Okay.
Mr. Sims is the boss at this place called Ira's Toy Shop. I think Ira was like a guy who worked on this film, so he was a producer or something. That's why they use his name. And you know what's so crazy? That there's so many like 80s toys here. There's like Star Wars toys. Like there's like legit toys. It's so funny because they were fine with showing all these like nice, like really like high-end toys that people bought, and if that whole room, if they would have preserved those toys, you know how they have like millions
They'd be
of
worth
dollars.
so much.
No.
Yeah.
I was just looking at those toys because I'll watch that show. There's a show called Toy Hunter that comes on TV, and it's like for some reason I just find it interesting because it's about like it's a reality show of a guy finding toys and selling them, and you know it's bullshit because those people don't buy half of that shit, and yeah, it's just all these toys, but they couldn't get any rights to like Christmas music, so they had all these new like shitty Christmas songs in this movie. Like they're really horrible.
Wait, so they couldn't get Christmas music, but they could get Star Wars?
I guess so. I guess maybe there wasn't rights issue back then. I don't know, because I can't imagine George Lucas going, yeah, it's fine, unless George Lucas likes money, so whatever. I guess it is a commercial for his toys. Who knows? I did see a Miss Piggy puppet at the end. That was very surprising. So anyway, he works at this toy store, and what does he do all day? Because he's like a huge
Was he like- he's
hulking
like the stock
18-year-old
boy?
man, right? Yeah, and he's working for like a stereotypical Italian
Rapist.
guy. And what goes on as a Santa Claus?
Well, when he's Santa Claus, he has to.
It's the greatest. It really is. So he has to become Santa Claus.
He has to be Santa, and he's threatening the child who's moving around like, punishment. I'll punish you if you don't behave.
It's really, seriously.
The things he's saying, like, I kind of wish I was him.
'Cause
Like, that's awesome.
I guess the original Santa guy that they have hired out every year, he must have got hurt or something. He was sick.
He broke his ankle, I think.
Yeah,
they
so
said.
Billy, of course, the irony of the film is that he hates Santa Claus. He's traumatized by Santa Claus as a child. Has to dress up like Santa Claus and have kids sit on his lap. And it's literally the funniest thing in this movie. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in film. Like a little girl's being a brat, and she's like moving around on his kneecap, and he's like, "Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Kids are naughty. Don't do it. Don't be naughty." And he's like saying it really like in a silent tone, and then like pretty much everybody in this film is an okay actor. And I can't tell if Billy's a good actor or a bad actor. The guy who played him actually like renounced acting and became like a Christian, a born-again Christian, and is like a CEO of like a rich company or something like that. But this movie, he's like, it's fantastic, it's phenomenal, like what he does in this movie. He's like, "Stop it, be quiet, don't be me."
Wait, that guy renounced this movie?
Yeah, no, well, obviously because now he's a Christian, so I mean he's doing crazy shit in this film. He's I think Robert Brian Wilson, yeah, that's the actor. And he's phenomenal. I mean, for like a B horror film, it's phenomenal. I actually like this movie as much as I mean, there's artistic wise, Black Christmas is probably better, but I enjoy.
I just love how
film.
he says "punish" before he kills people.
He'll say "punish" or "naughty" and stuff like that. And at the same time, his brother, we do know that he has a little brother, and his brother grows up with him at the thing. We don't really see him anymore until like the very
Yeah, but
end.
his brother was like a baby. His brother didn't see
Yeah, I
it,
couldn't
you know?
tell the age-wise because his brother was like, I guess, 4 years younger than him, or maybe like 5, 6, or 7 years younger than him. Because I didn't even.
5 years younger.
I figured he was just as old as him, but my math is all wrong. So what happens at the after Billy does his his old Santa Claus deal. They have a little Christmas party, right? And what
Yeah.
happens from there?
So the rapist guy, that is like the stock boss or whatever, is like, I guess he's trying to rape some girl, and then like Billy sees it, and I guess this means now that he's gonna kill not only the rapist guy but also the girl and every other person in the
Basically,
store.
getting drunk and cock blocked turns you into a serial killer. If that was true, there'd be so many dead people right now in this whole universe. Like, just everybody would be killing people, because there is a girl that is nice to him within 10 minutes of the food. And as a guy, you're like watching, it's like, oh shit.
I didn't understand why she was mad at him for killing
No,
the
we'll
guy.
get to that. But like, we're watching the girl that we think that she likes him, because she's always around him. And then, just kind of like in real life, and this has happened to me, just like I'm sure it's happened to a lot of people, she'll walk off with somebody else completely
Never happened
random.
to me.
Oh, okay, fine enough. She walks off with I'm in my sadness alone. She walks off with a completely different asshole guy instead. And I guess this kind of spurs him into action as being a maniac. Because he also has a little thought of him having sensuous love with her and then getting attacked by the crazy Santa Claus. But he thinks I guess we're, as audience, supposed to be led to thinking that she's going to hook up with him and she'll be the heroine of the film. But she walks off with the Italian guy. And, he's trying to rape her. And it's like, oh, okay.
Why does she gets mad at him? I don't understand.
Yeah, because Billy then
like,
strangles the guy. Like, Billy has, like, super strength, like Michael Myers. And he actually lifts the guy with the Christmas lights and strangles him. And she gets mad at him for killing a guy who was about to rape her. I don't understand the logic. Is this like...
Yeah, I don't get it. Women are confusing, I guess. I don't know.
At least in this universe, because she got mad at him. No, I think she's probably the only confusing woman in this film. Every other woman probably has, like, the right attitude, except for Mother Superior. Like, they're kind of like...
I like Ira's, I guess, partner or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what she is. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, she's all, like, drunk and shit.
But, so he starts his killing spree, and he goes for the boss, and it's so funny, did you see, I guess you must have seen the uncensored version, because I guess there is a version that was released regular in film, and there's the version that I saw, I believe, is the uncensored version, because on certain sequences, the look of the movie looked really grainy, like dark, and that's like work print kind of effects. That means like that wasn't released in theaters. So they like censored it because there's like, I remember seeing on YouTube certain shots like when he'll kill a girl by throwing her on top of like antlers of a deer head, and in this one you'll see it, but they'll cut really quickly from scenes, like you don't see her fully like hanging off the antler head.
Oh no, I saw the whole thing.
So you must have seen the uncensored version, because they obviously made a lot of cuts, and I could tell like there were shots that were completely darkened, and it didn't look like the regular coloring of the film. Like they never colored it; they just kind of inserted it there so it would be uncensored. And there's some fairly graphic kills in this film. Which one was your favorite kill in this movie?
I did really like the antler one.
Yeah,
and you see it poke through her and everything. That's great.
Yeah, the antler one. I think it's Leanna Quigley. I think she's like really famous for being a scream queen. I know her name, and I'm sure I've seen her in a bunch of horror films, or maybe she was just in a lot of...
so terrible with names of people.
Yeah, she plays Denise. I just know that name. I think she might have been the girl from Return of the Living Dead. I'm not sure. You know the girl, the punk girl that's dancing on top of the grave?
Oh, the one that's showing her boobs?
Yeah,
and
the
stuff?
naked girl. I mean, I'm going to look her up real quickly, but explain that scene while I look her up.
I'm doing it.
Denise and her boyfriend. Go ahead.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I got distracted. I was looking up. What am I thinking about?
Denise is the blonde girl who's making out with her boyfriend, and she's looking for her cat.
Oh, okay. And then, what? I don't remember.
What happened to you, Danny? Are you out of your mind or something?
I got sidetracked in my brain. I just, like, lost it. I'm
so anyway, some
happened.
random guy is making out with his girlfriend at her apartment, and the fucking
oh, this is after he's already left the store.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
Yeah,
she is trash. That is trash. She played trash after this
Yeah,
movie.
she's the main girl that's like opening her boobs out.
Yeah, the
and,
punk
like,
girl.
going crazy in the car.
Yeah, I think that was the first movie where I ever saw like an actual fully naked girl. Because I think I never seen like a girl, because you usually see topless girls, but never like pantsless girls. So I was kind of like, what was going on? Like, I was like, wait a minute, she doesn't have any underwear on. Ah! Like,
Where's her penis?
where's her big steaming balls? I almost thought about that. Like, why did Billy think women had like? But then I guess he saw that girl getting fucked in the church house or whatever, so he must know. Because you know what that made me think? That made me think about that artist you talk about, the one that like was an old man and he died and he drew like thousands of drawings of like.
What the hell's his name? Like Henry something. He was an outsider artist. Yeah,
right.
He wrote.
He drew like all these stories,
book.
and I guess he never saw like a naked girl, so he assumed.
Well, he just was like slow or something, but he called them the Vivian girls.
Right,
or
and he
something,
assumed girls had.
yeah.
He assumed girls had penises too, so that's why he drew girls with penises. I assume that's what they thought he was going on through his mind because he never saw a naked girl. I don't know how you'd never see a naked person, but I mean, I guess it's possible. I guess it was a different time when he, was kind of being kooky. So anyway, Leanna Quigley is playing Denise, and she's with her boyfriend, and she ends up having one of the most awesome kills in horror history, I think, where he kind of just comes in. He's like, naughty. Like, he just... I mean, I'm doing it bad. He's doing it way more monotone, and she's there with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend kind of looks like the bad guy from, like, the Karate Kid, like the standard blonde guy. I will give them points for having the boyfriend fight back. Because it was to me, it felt like
he did knock him down. He did knock him down.
He did it once or twice. And I think this was like kind of the Ronald Goldman on the OJ. You know when OJ was going to kill. He wasn't expecting Ron Goldman.
OJ didn't do that.
Oh, okay, right. It was Smoj that did it. So when Ronald Goldman
if he had done it, though, this is what he would have done.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he wrote that book because he didn't do it. He knew specific things that he didn't know.
What an idiot.
So the boyfriend is like fighting back, and he's like literally, what the fuck is going on? He kicks him in the ball. He kicks the evil Santa in the balls. He does fight back, and then that Santa, Billy throws him right out the fucking window, just like the father in Fear did when he throws who the hell is that guy? Who's that actor? Oh my god, the actor who's Marky Mark.
Remember.
You never saw Fear with Marky Mark?
No, I've seen Fear. I just don't. He is the bad guy.
Yeah, where he's like, I love the ads for Fear. It was like that's another really good stalker boyfriend movie. I don't really like stalker boyfriend movies, but that one.
I remember
really
a scene
good.
on like a roller coaster.
Yeah,
or
where he's
something.
fingering her and they're playing like wild horses. It's a good movie. I'll give him that because then it also shows Alyssa Milano in a thong, and I had a thing for Alyssa Milano. It's just fucking gorgeous. But at the end of that movie, the father gains superpowers or something and throws Marky Mark like 50 miles out of a window. I'm not talking about 50 feet, 50 miles, because he flies out of a fucking window and kills Marky Mark. And that never made any sense to me. But yeah, so that happens in this movie. They threw that guy out. And what does evil Santa Billy do when he meets that little girl? I guess it's Leanna Quigley's little sister.
Oh, yeah. That's a good scene, actually. He asks her if she's been naughty or nice, and, what is he? He gives her, like, a bloody box cutter or something weird. Like,
and what's the little girl's reaction? It's great, huh?
Yeah, she's, like, so, like...
Confused.
Yeah, I guess I'd be confused too if someone handed me a bloody box cutter after killing my family.
It really is like this movie really is a masterpiece of like bad but great, because it's not a bad movie. I don't think it's a bad movie at all. I think it's like, it does what it does, and it's not like
it's enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean it does it seriously as a horror film, but it just gets to the point. It like cuts out all the bullshit. You know what I mean? It's just a good above average slasher film, and
right.
one of the even best kills. I think it was the first scene I ever saw from this film, because I mostly know about part 2. I never wanted to watch.
When they kill the good Santa.
What's that? When
they kill the good Santa.
No. That's even. See, that's why there's 5 or 10 scenes off the thing where you can just think about it and laugh. I'm talking about the sledding scene, because these two jock types like bully these 2 kids, and they take their sleds. And I swear to God, I think those 2 guys were gonna like bully those kids and then just start making out in the woods, like
right.
They just seem like that, just 2 random guys at night, like just stealing sleds. And the first guy sleds down, and then the second guy is about to sled down and he gets decapitated, and his body just slides down the fucking snow. And I tell you this, it's my it might be my favorite reaction to a death in a horror film of all time. because the guy, he screams like a woman. He's like, oh, oh, oh. He's just like wailing like a woman. It's like the funniest thing because he's just looking at his friend's decapitated body and his head's right next to it. It's like the greatest thing ever. I swear to you, this movie's so good.
Well, actually, like, I'm kind of wanting to like rewatch the movie.
I do. No, this is a movie you should watch with your family and friends on Christmas. Like, literally, if you love horror films, Silent Night, Deadly Night is one of the... How would you rate the performance of Billy, the actor who plays him, Robert Bryan Wilson? I swear, I think I spoke the most. Like, I mean, I speak a lot of episodes, but I think I spoke the most because you've just been laughing the rest of the episode. So what?
I'm sorry.
It's great.
No,
it's a phenomenal, hilarious movie.
I think Billy is awesome. Like, I think
Billy is one of the best.
I love his whole thing.
Billy is a fantastic screen killer. He's not like, Freddy or Jay. He basically is Jason, but he's like naughty, punish, naughty. He's just like. He's like this ultra handsome guy. It always bothered me that he's a Santa Claus without a mustache. He just kind of has the beard going on. But he's just basically like, he's like an automaton. Like, for the first half, he's kind of nice and he freaks out whenever he sees Santa Claus. But then, like, the second half, he just becomes like an unstoppable killing machine. And it's great because I want him to be in more movies, but there's only like one actor that can kind of play.
But he does. Unless, I mean, there's like 5 other movies.
Yeah, but
so
I think the
Does he come
second
back?
one, it's his brother that's the killer, because that's how they allude. This movie works as a fantastic kind of standalone horror film, but then it works great as a prequel for the second film, because I think his brother's name is Richard or something like that.
Oh, is he the one at the end who says naughty?
Yeah, because then at the very end, his brother looks at Mother Superior, because Mother Superior actually makes it alive at the end, even though she's kind of an asshole. She survives at the end of the film.
The power of Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus protected her. She's like, there is no Santa Claus, and then she actually, Billy gets shot. We'll talk about your other favorite scene with the old deaf man. Why would you have a deaf man playing Santa Claus? But go ahead.
Because he can't hear the kids complaining the whole time. So he's like,
He would go,
he's oblivious.
When you're a good king or a naughty king. I'm just kidding, kids. I'm kidding,
man.
everybody. They don't talk like that. And I'm talking about Santa Claus.
The cops are doing a manhunt for anyone dressed as Santa, and in typical cop fashion, this guy shoots first and asks questions later.
Really.
Right. Oh, so anyway, the cop guns down the innocent Santa priest dressed as Santa. Because they figure out, Sister Margaret tells the cops that Billy will return to the orphanage, and he does, but then they see a Santa there, and they just assume it's Billy and shoot him, and then...
I like how totally normal that
Billy,
deputy is after shooting an innocent man to death, and he's like, yo,
He doesn't even care. He doesn't even, feel bad. He's like, oh, whoops,
his fetish was shooting an old man to death, and he finally did it. If you look closely...
I guess he figures, the guy has no family or grandchildren.
He was like, he's deaf. He didn't care. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, right.
But it's a phenomenal scene where another innocent person gets shot to death. A lot of innocent people almost die in this film. I think it's a great movie, and it's a great setup for the sequel. I heard the sequel is fucking horrible. And from one of the scenes that
I would imagine.
One of the scenes that I saw from the very famous scene from Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 is a sequence where I believe it's the killer of the film. He's walking around and he just shoots people. There's no finesse of having an axe in this one.
Oh, man.
So there's a scene where a guy's putting down a garbage can, right? And it's done. It's done with camera trickery. This is how bad it is. We'll explain it when we actually do review it. But the guy's lifting up a garbage can. Like, if you're lifting up a garbage can, you can kind of see everywhere around you, right? I mean, it's a garbage can.
Right.
You're just in front of it.
Unless you're holding it in front
But because
of your face
of camera trickery, I think we're supposed to believe he can't see anything in front of the garbage can because he lays it down and there's a guy hiding across the street that appears when the garbage can comes down on the floor. Do you get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because just because
right.
just because it's covering the guy in the far frame, the lead guy who's literally there can't see him. It's just stupid. And then the guy says "garbage day" and he shoots the guy to death, and that's like,
oh no,
it looks awful. And I can't.
Wow, we gotta see it. I think we should.
I think that's our
review
Christmas
all 5
episode.
of them.
I believe that'll be our Christmas episode.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this serves as a good prequel for that one. And I also liked when Billy, after he kills the cop, his axe still has fresh blood rolling off of it because blood doesn't kind of like work
Right.
like that. I don't think so. I think it would have dried up
It's
as soon as he
bright
walked
red,
out in
too.
the fucking. Then he also decapitates a snowman, which I think would be out of Santa's. I don't think Santa would decapitate a snowman. I don't know. Do you think so?
No, evil Santa would kill Frosty.
Okay, fair enough. That Frosty didn't have.
Unless it was the evil Frosty from that movie. You
Oh,
know?
that's true. That fantastic.
Then he would be like pals with him.
But this movie's fucking great. I loved it. It was fantastic. It's a great slasher B film, and everybody should watch
Right.
it and play it in Christmas time. They should play this with Black Christmas. Just two great Christmas horror films. We've actually
the original.
I think
right?
we've been lucky enough to watch a couple of good Christmas horror films like Child's Play, Silent Night, Deadly Night. I did
guess
actually
Child's
watch.
Play is a Christmas movie.
I actually did watch that piece of garbage, Jack Frost, although I didn't get to review that other one. But holy crap, was that a horrible movie? Anyway, what would you rate this film?
I'm gonna give this movie. I wish it was more gory,
Okay.
but I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10 because I really actually
great.
liked it.
It's a great.
I mean, it's not like good, but it's awesome.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
an awesome film.
I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Little kid punching out Santa.
That's a great scene. I will say the gore. I thought the gore was pretty good for this type of film. They actually protested the film and had it shut down because it was supposed to have a larger.
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I heard. Yeah,
And
it was caused a lot of
also the
controversy.
director, they actually had to have a second unit director direct the gore scenes because the director of this film was too squeamish to shoot them. Can you imagine that?
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
What an asshole. And also, like, the scene where the guy gets thrown out the window, he has a huge window pane coming out of his chest and his face, so I don't understand how that works, but whatever. Yeah, I gave this movie, I guess I would give it a 9 out of 10, screaming like a young girl after you see your friend come down a slide decapitated. Oh, man, that was great.
Right.
So with that, Danny, what's the
Cool.
final word?
Contain.